Hey there guys, welcome back to the vlog. I've got a couple of interesting things sitting at home waiting for me to unpack. I'll show you what those are in a few minutes. It's been an absolutely stunning of a day in Wellington, and I'm looking forward to getting home, grabbing some of the toys out and going for a bit of a play. So come along and join in. Now, anybody who's been watching me knows that I tend to wander around town a fair bit with a couple of cameras on me most of the time. For a lot of the time I've been walking around with this fella and this fella, a couple of GoPro Hero 5 Blacks. They're brilliant cameras. I call them 1 and 2, and often have them suction cupped inside the car as well, so I can talk while I'm trundling along places. More recently I've been wandering around with this and its buddy right in front of me here. Two of these, once again, quite useful if you want two camera setups, good continuity, that kind of thing. The RX100 Mark V is an absolutely incredible camera, as you can tell from this beautiful image you're looking at right now. But times do go on, and a package has just turned up for me here from my mates at Photo Gear, so I'll just rip that open and pull this out. And here we have the new GoPro Hero 6 Black. Now, I've been holding out for this thing for a couple of reasons. First of all, as most of you will know, its big selling point is the 4K at 60 frames. That's a massive amount of data that it can put through for such a small camera. And the other big reason I've been hanging out for this one in particular, more than other people I guess, is the fact that it will do narrow mode or the linear mode, as well as a digital zoom apparently. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works and being able to get just that narrower field of view on it. So I'm just going to start by ripping this thing open. Normally the bottom of these comes apart quite easily, and a small bag of goodies to get you started if you don't already have a huge amount of GoPro gear like I do. So I'll just rip that out. There we go. And the box and the GoPro comes out the bottom. Always do that. You can just pull that whole assembly, will always just come straight out the bottom of the box there. A lot of people try and get this gum off around the top here, around the housing above it. Don't try and do that. You'll spend bloody hours and then just realise you could have just yanked it out the bottom by that handle. It's a well designed box, and it comes with the GoPro 6. They've got a new warranty insurance thing, kind of like the Apple Care Plus, where if you pay an extra $150, anything you do to trash your GoPro, they'll replace it. That's how happy they are with the robustness. I imagine they've got caveats on that. The GoPro stickers have gone up a notch, which is cool. Usual manual. And just opening up the rest of the box here, there is of course your obligatory USB-C cable. Can always use another one of those. A couple of sticky mounts. Another battery. Can always need more GoPro batteries. It does take the same batteries as the Hero 5, I believe, which is bloody brilliant. And most importantly, and something that not a lot of them do, is it's got a fast SD card in it as well, fast micro SD. So it's a 32 gig one, and I imagine it'll be quick enough to do the 4K 60 frame hopefully, which is probably why they've bundled it, so that people don't complain about having slow cards. Anyway, so I'm just going to lift the rubber bit there. That rubber bit there is there for a bloody good reason. I've seen people remove it. Don't. It's a stupid thing to do, because those are the same people who go, oh no, my GoPro fell off and landed in the ocean and I can't find it again. So there it is. There's the GoPro 6. It's got the usual housing and mounting point. I'll probably replace that with a bigger one soon. I'm just going to pop that straight out of the cover and get that first thumbprint on the lens that everybody does. So I'll just have a quick look in here. Same sort of door as the Hero 5 I made. I was expecting this to be a lot similar. That's actually a much better mechanism than the Hero 5. That's quite cool actually. It just springs and pops open, it's a lot easier to move, but I can feel that right at the end there it's got a really good seal on it, and that's probably going to be the same here with the side door. Yeah, pretty much exactly the same mechanism again as the Hero 5, but it's a bit smoother to use. The engineers have obviously, I mean, it's not a surprise that they've done some improvement on that. So yeah, no, that's really good. I like that a lot. Right, I'm going to start by pulling this SD card here out. Takes much longer than this. It's going to be a time lapse, or at least a few jump cuts, because I muffed up pulling that out. When you get these bits of plastic like this that are really resistant to actually opening, you can run a key just down the side of it. Keys tend to have rather nicely burred edges. Just be careful not to hit any of the contacts on the card. Always go around the plastic heel of it, which sticks out anyway, so don't hit those. Those are your friend. You want to keep those good. Okay, now that as always is just going to slot straight in there, so that'll go in there. I'm not sure which way around it goes. You can pretty much guarantee that whenever you get one of these things, yep, I did it again, whenever you try put the card in, it's always going to be the other way. It doesn't matter, there's no 50% chance or anything like that, it's just always going to be the wrong way around. Now I'll also put the battery in. It's going to be easier because it's just in a slip, it doesn't need any particular attention to get it out, and that'll just slot straight in there nice and snug and shut the door. And the final thing is there's this little sticker on the back showing a bit of a picture of what it will hopefully look like, or at least make it look good in the box. We don't need that. I'll probably stick it somewhere because I'm an obsessive compulsive collector of little bits of rubbish, and then I'll just turn that on. There you go, booting up for the first time. Telltale logo, beep beep beep, and there you go. So I'll just set that for English, funnily enough. Language English, agree to the terms and conditions. Then there's the modes and settings. Looks like it gives you a little bit of an on-screen tutorial. It's like right for media library. So it's the same menu system that you're familiar with. There we go. So I've just got to set the date and time, which is, and there we go. So everything's fairly familiar. So I'll just set the field of view to, straight away I can choose wide mode or linear mode. Hope you can see that in wide mode or linear mode, and then this little slider here just lets me do digital zoom, and that does seem to do a pretty cool job of doing exactly that. They're able to do the digital zoom on this by having a much higher resolution sensor, so all it does is that I believe, somebody's going to correct me, that I believe it just scans a smaller part of the physical sensor. That probably has some degradation on the quality or lightability or something like that, but it should do it without dropping resolution at all. I think it might only be available in some resolutions, but I'm going to have a play and come back. I don't need to give you all that information. There'll be a table of all of those resolutions and modes and stuff you can use and comparisons on the GoPro site. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to go and grab my GoPro 5 and have a bit of a play around with this. I'll put a battery in that's got a bit more of a charge, and we'll compare the footage of the... Okay, so here's how I'm going to do this. I've got this double bracket thing here that you've possibly seen me use before. It's just got a pass-through 1/4 inch thread and a cold shoe mount. So what I've done is I've taken a cold shoe adapter there to 1/4 inch, and I'm going to put one of those on top of that, just like that, and then tighten that up so that it stays nice and straight. Then I've got this one here as well. I'm going to mount another one of these tripod to GoPro adapters on that, and also tighten that around the right way there, so that those are now both facing front, so that's cool. Then I can take the two GoPros here and I'll remove the standard bracket off it. and I can put that directly onto here and screw that in, and the other one I will do the same thing with and place that in there, line the hole up, get that through and tighten it in. Okay, so that's 2 GoPros mounted together. They're slightly offset, but like that, but you'll get over it. Now to lug them around evenly, I can put the other end of that straight here onto the JB tripod, Gorilla Pod. If you're after a Gorilla Pod at all, don't mess around with the cheap ass ones that you can get all over the place. Get the Joby heavyweight one. It won't slip. Even if you got lightweight cameras and you think it's overkill, get it. It will just work best for you. And this Nest ball head that won't move at all when you've got even a decent weight of the 7S with big lenses on. Anyway, I'm going to line those up now and just tighten them up, make sure that they're stable, not going to wander around on me, and let's go for a walk. So I've set both of the GoPros here to 2.7K, 25 frames a second and linear. The reason I've gone for the 2.7K is that the GoPro 5 doesn't have stabilization at 4K or over 60 frames, and just wanted to get something that was even between them. So looking online and watching this over YouTube, you're not really going to see the difference in the 2.7 to 4K anyway. So I'm just coming up, checking some bright areas, see what the dynamic range and colour is. I've got this heavy light and contrast. Be also interesting to see how the two compare with the microphones. Great thing is there's no wind today, so we're not going to have any trouble with that really. And just coming for a bit of a walk down the road. How quickly they both react to moving to the brighter light of the sunset. How they react to fairly bright green grasses. The blue of the car. And then moving relatively quickly along the road. So both of these are quite good potential vlogging cameras. The GoPro 5 of course I've used for vlogging a fair bit. The 6, well I haven't obviously because I've only just turned it on. This is the first time I've recorded anything with it. So there we go, we'll see what the cat's up to. So that should be enough anyway. I'll go back and capture this and see how the two of them look.